It's the mind map and the book. How do they link? And will the mind map help you to become a speed reader just with the mind map? You will find out. And I'm going to ask you first to take your book, whatever book you're going to read, and I want you to spend about 5 minutes, and I want you to go back again into your traditional methodology. I want you to take your normal pen, the one color, your normal notepad, probably lined. I want you to take your book and I want you to sit at your desk and I want you to note it. Just start reading it and imagine that you're at home, you're studying, so do it in the normal way, the totally normal way. Forget the mind maps, forget everything else, just do it in the old-fashioned way, because then you can experience what it's like, and then we can move on from that. So now we're going to look at how do you use the mind map to study a book. And I'm going to give you an example, in fact a story, that I think happens in your home, in your library. We imagine that you are now going to study and you've got your book, and I will take a book. In fact, let me get a book and I will use this book to show you what to do and what not to do. So I am taking you back to the old-fashioned method that you have done. And I am going to tell you the story that I think I know. It's a story about what happens in your home, in your library, when you are studying. And this is what I think you and nearly everybody does. It's time for your homework. And you've got your book. And you've got, a couple of hours to study at night. You come to your desk and you think, yes, I'm definitely going to do that. But your creative brain then says, I did say that I would phone my friend. I don't have to do that, but I think I better. So you go somewhere else and you phone, and then you come back a little bit later. You think, yes, I'm now going to study. And you're about to start with the book, but you still haven't opened it. And you think, oh, I did say that I would check that magazine or that news bit. I better go and do that to get it out of my brain so I can focus on my book. So off you go and you get the newspaper, magazine, and you spend 20 minutes, and then you come back and you feel pretty confident because now you've done it and you're ready to study. And what people do, I'm sure you're going to be one of them, you take the book and you open it because you're determined, you're confident, you're going to read, and you go, physical determination. And you start to read. And within 2 minutes, your creative brain says, ah, I need some extra water, or I need tea. Because if I don't have it, so it will get dry, I'll be more thirsty, that will affect my concentration, so I better go, get something, and then come back and carry on. So you go to the kitchen, and in the kitchen, the human language, your brain says, I wasn't that hungry, but actually I am a little bit hungry. And if I'm getting hungrier, my concentration will get worse. So I better have a little snack. So you go into the fridge, you look around, and sure enough, lots of things. And you think, well, I'll just have a fry-up. So you have that, and then you have a good meal, and you come back, and you think, now I can really get on with it. Now I can study. But now you've had a meal and the blood is in your stomach, not in your brain. And you need it here when you're studying. So your creative brain says, well, I do need a break. You know, I've had a good meal, phoned a friend, done a bit of catching up, so I'm now in a good state. I'll have a half an hour break, just a half an hour, to give my time to digest. So off you go, and you go to the television, and you think, I'll just check on the programs. And in 10 minutes, there's a half an hour program that you think, yeah, that's going to be interesting. So I'll relax while watching a good program, and it's only going to start in 10 minutes. So I'll watch what's finishing, and then I'll watch it. So you do, and you're sitting back, and you're watching the television. And you're feeling nice and dozy, and you watch the program, and it's about to finish, and the next program is coming on, and it just starts, and you think, yeah, I'll turn, oh, that first few minutes looks pretty interesting. More interesting than I thought. Yeah, I'll just watch the first 10 minutes. So you watch the first 10 minutes, and you think, well, it's fairly interesting. Only 20 minutes to go, and I've just watched the first 10, so I may as well watch that. So you watch the second program, and finally, with real determination, you get up, you come back to the desk, and you think, right, now. And now, it's nearly 2 hours after you started. So you're back, you get onto the next page, and you start. And you read a few lines, but you're beginning to feel a bit sleepy. And you try again, and you read a bit more, and you try to read a bit more, and eventually you fall asleep. And an hour later, somebody comes in and says, hey, wake up. And you suddenly realize, it's now time to go to bed. So you think, well, actually, it's pretty good. I've caught up with my friends, I've caught up on the newspaper, watched the program, had a good meal, and tomorrow I will carry on. How many of you have done this time and time again, and you still haven't read the book, and your creative brain has made all the excuses? And why is that? It is because we don't know how to study a book. We don't know how to note it. And there are ways of noting a book and studying it that make reading a book so easy, so that when you come back ready to study, you start, and in a couple of hours you've read a whole book. And the mind maps will be your savior. They will help you learn and love reading and study books. So have a good break, review what you did historically, talk about it, make any notes on ways in which you can improve, and then I'm going to guide you through, step by step, how to mind map a book. And the mind map of that book will transfer that book straight into your brain. See you very soon.